Hi, this is Kevin Chiu, and I'm working on the pull request integration feature. So since last time, I've gotten review requests to update after synchronized actions from GitHub. So what a synchronized action is that whenever there's an already open pull request, if someone pushes new code to the repository, the new code will trigger a synchronized action, and you'll usually get a whole new payload, and you also get the new diff and new information about the pull request. So the synchronized action is called whenever, or synchronized action is given whenever there's any update to the pull request. So I'm going to go ahead and redeliver this pull request, and well, before I do that, we can see that this is the review request that is already opened. Right, so this is my review request that's already opened. So this is the description, and then in the diff, you can see that there's currently one revision right here. Yeah, and I have errors with the diff view right now. But we can see that there's one diff revision. So I'm going to go ahead and redeliver the synchronized action. And I'm just going to refresh this. Right, and now we can see that we have a new description because in the webhook, in the synchronized action, we have there was an update to the pull request. So I made this. I just changed the description of the pull request on GitHub side, and we can see that it changes in review board side as well. And we can also see that you get leave page. You also get a new diff uploaded. So here it is. So now there's another revision to it. So that was synchronizing pull requests. So anytime you make new changes to the pull request, now review board will be hooked up to have the corresponding update. One thing to note about this is that we're using GitHub status API to actually look up which review request is associated with the pull request, and we're doing this because review board doesn't really have the infrastructure to look up the corresponding review request as of this moment, because we can store the pull request ID in review board side, but there's no real easy way to look up which review request is associated with which pull request. So that's why we're using GitHub status API in the meanwhile, just to get this prototype working. And another thing that I've been working on is just some unit tests for just to see how review board responds whenever a payload is sent. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and run these tests. Pretty simple. I'm just checking. So I have a simulated payload, and I just see if a review request is opened if the payload is sent, and I just check that the information is correct. So those are unit tests, and going forward, I'll be working on using the status API again to mark pull requests as pending, or just change the status based on if there are any open issues. And I'll also be working on getting the diff viewer to work, because as you can see, there are some issues that I'm running into here. So I'll be working on that, and I'll also be working on looking up who opened the pull request. So whenever the payload is sent, there's usually like a GitHub user that's sent with it. So I'll be using that to look up, is there a corresponding user in review board system, and if so, then they're the one opening up the review request. If not, maybe they can create an account or something. So I'll be working through building out that workflow as well in the upcoming weeks.